Oh, hi! This week we're gonna make little tiny Bert some Harry Potter Hogwarts robes because I am intolerable with this dog. I set up this like round moon camp chair that I use when people come over to hang out with me in my sewing room, and he decided to take it over. He literally dragged this blanket from our bedroom into this room and then tried to jump into the chair, so I kind of took a hint. And it's his little tiny Bert nest. So, I do actually have a cocktail today. We are swapping out the cold medicine I was taking earlier today for the old Oregon Trail remedy. I don't know if that's actually a thing people say. I put whiskey in some cinnamon apple tea, so it's kind of like a hot toddy, and also supposedly whiskey's supposed to help with colds and shit. It's definitely helping with my sore throat, even just a couple sips in. Though also, a hot herbal tea is also helping with that. Oh fuck, and it tastes so good. Also, I just had an event last weekend and I have an event today when you're seeing this. So I still don't have the studio lights set up, so the lighting's a little fucked. Usually it's better than this. Just putting that disclaimer out now. And also, man, I have way better shit to stress about than the lighting in my videos. So goddamn what. Anyways, it is finally chilly enough that little tiny Bert here has needed a little jacket to go out. P.S. Bert is a rescue from Mississippi, so he hasn't dealt with a proper winter yet, so he's not been enjoying these cooler mornings, and I don't know what he's gonna do when it snows, because that's months of the year here. But that's why we gotta make him some cute little coats. So, okay, don't judge me. Years ago, before we even had Frank, I had bought dog snuggies for someone's 2 Italian Greyhounds, and I have this one and then a red plaid one. Bert sometimes wears the red plaid one, and he's adorable as shit in it. But this tie-dye cloud situation ain't me, ain't Bert. So we're gonna use this to make some little Hogwarts robes, because what else would I do when there's a hood involved? So if you saw a couple weeks ago, I did a new Hogwarts robes tutorial video. I also, right after filming that, made the 3 other houses, because I just did Hufflepuff robes in the video, but I wanted to take pictures and have display models of all of the houses when I do events and for my Etsy shop and everything. P.S. If you would like your own custom robes, I make them to order in my Etsy shop. I have 2 versions. There's like the more bare bones one, and then there's one with all the bells and whistles that has a full lining. All the pieces are lined. It has pockets. It has a closure in the front. It's just more involved. But if you want a real basic one, you have a cheaper option. And if you want to go even cheaper than that, I made hooded capelets for my shop that are completely reversible, so you can have the solid secondary color on the outside, so like red for Gryffindor, yellow for Hufflepuff. I can do whatever fucking colors you want to, by the way. Just putting it out there if you weren't aware that I make things, especially with Halloween coming up. So, I'm not sure what house Bert would be in, because he is a dachshund, and their name means badger hound. That's dachs and hund, which means they're bred to hunt badgers and fight them. So I don't know if that means he is a Hufflepuff. Ooh, I just went on a very tea-sipping side tangent that we don't actually need to get into, because I don't think any house is opposite of the other one. Although, seriously, if you want to talk about this more in the comments, I love Harry Potter theories. It's so much of my time spent chatting with friends is theorizing about Harry Potter shit, so like, I am here to talk about it if you want. I don't know what house Bert would be in anyway. Probably Hufflepuff, right? But am I saying that just because I am and he's my dog? He has his own personality. He has his own identity. One definitive thing about him is that his collar is blue, and that's what he was given from the shelter. So just to match that, and because this Snuggie I'm taking apart had blue Velcro, not that it's even remotely the same shade blue, we're making a Ravenclaw robe. I'm probably gonna make all 4 houses, but this is just the one I'm gonna do first. If you disagree with my choices, I won't be able to hear you because you're gonna see this after I finish the project. So no point in stressing about it. I'm doing a black outer shell with a blue fabric lining, and then I need Velcro pieces. So that's like the core material you need for this. Also, you know, sewing machine, matching thread, scissors, pins probably. But as for the actual shape of this, what I'm gonna do is flare out the bottom to a more triangle thing, because it kind of curves up here. So I'm gonna flare it out so it looks a little more roby, but not by that much, because I don't want this making him trip over his own feet or anything. And all it does is loop around in the front. So if you don't have your own Snuggie for dogs to base this off of, and good heavens, this is definitely not sponsored, though could you fucking imagine? If you need to get your own length, just measure from where the base of the neck is, so basically where his collar is, to kind of above his butt. I could make this a little bit longer if I wanted, but I think that's gonna be fine. And then as far as measuring the width of everything, I like where this is hitting. It's stopping kind of where his tummy starts. Make sure when you're taking measurements and figuring out your width for everything, measure like from this side all around to this side. And just make sure you're accounting for enough length in the straps so so that they can overlap each other on his little tummy. And then this is the hood that came with it. I've talked about making hoods a bunch of times before, but this one especially, it's just straight across the bottom. It comes up and it's basically like a 45-degree turn, but you know, a decent size angle. You can trace around a cup or something. I do not need this hood to be this tall, so I'm gonna cut out probably just that much of it and use it because I don't need it to actually cover his head. If it covers like the base of his neck and it looks like a hood, cool, into it. So as you can see, this is hemmed. Since I'm doing an outer and a lining and I'm going to sew them together in a way that none of the hemming is going to happen, I don't need to account for a full hem seam allowance going around here. I just need to account for like a 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go around this a little bit. And like I said, I want to extend the back a little further, and then we'll just taper it up. I like how this fits, so I'm going to keep that. Also, I have this folded in half and the fabric underneath. This is the fold here, so there's 2 layers. That should be fine. And then one other thing, rather than having the straps be separate pieces, I'm going to decide on my placement. I'm going to move mine up a little bit just because Bert is a boy dog and the strap placement here, he's not able to pee without me taking the coat off. So I'm going to move these up so it's more under his arms. Front paws, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to add this into here. I'd rather have them be longer than too short. Okay, I also put a folded layer of the black fabric under this so I can cut it all out at once. Oh shit, I hate when that happens. When you're cutting through a bunch of layers and then your scissors like skip up one. And then, hey, look at that. It looks like a coat. Yay, we did it. Okay, and you're probably saying, but what about the hood? Because that has the curve at the back, we do need to cut that separately. Okay, so for the hood pieces, I really just hated the shape of the original one, so I'm going to kind of wing a little something here and see how it goes. And I am cutting 4 separate pieces. You don't have to worry about folds or anything, but you do need 2 layers of each color. So we have our lining body piece and our 2 hood pieces, and then our black outer piece and those 2 hood pieces. First thing we're going to do is sew the back of the hoods right sides together. So you're going from the top of the head down to the back of the neck. You're not touching the part that attaches to the coat. You're not touching the face opening. So I have little hood pieces together. Cute, cute, cute. Now I'm gonna take the lining, find the midpoint of this neck curve, and then right sides together, you're gonna line up that neckline with the hood, putting the seam of the hood where that notch is. Also, when you're doing stuff like this and you're a little uncomfortable doing anything that involves any kind of guesswork, you can start from the center where it's pinned, where you know that these line up, and then sew this way, and then flip it over, and then sew the other one the other way, so that you don't have to worry about like not lining this up exactly over here and then getting to the midpoint and it's off mark and you're like, how did I fuck this up? So if you're stressing about it, take that route. Okay, look at this with this stupid little hood. I love it. So a thing to do with big curves like this, I'm gonna notch, and by notch I mean clip, this curve just so it'll lay a little flatter because it's already sitting weird and I haven't even sewn the lining to the outer fabric. You can get close to the stitches, but don't go through the stitches. I'd say stay like 1/8 of an inch away. So now it has more flex to it. See what I'm saying? Where this is like all pinched and weird. We're already on the home stretch. Now we're gonna take both of our constructed lining and outer shells, lay them right sides together, line all the points up, so like the center of the hood, especially because we cut all the layers out at the same time, they should line up a little easier because sometimes if you're cutting out the lining separately from the outer fabric, it can have enough discrepancies. It doesn't want to fit together very nicely. But yeah, line all these points up and just find a spot, preferably on a straighter edge, to leave a gap so you can turn all of this right sides out. I think I'm going to leave the gap on the straight bottom section and then top stitch that after. So like 2 to 3 inches across right here. Everything else, we'll get a pretty small row of stitches around the whole thing. And it's gonna be great. You're doing great. We're almost through it already. Isn't this going so fast? I knew you had it in you, sport. Oh, did that feel disingenuous? This is why I'm not having children. Hi. Okay. this is all stitched together now, and I have my gap at the bottom. First thing I'm gonna do is clip some of the concave corners, the ones that are going in and aren't sticking out. Those will lay a little flatter. I know by the time I get this turned out all the way, I'm not gonna give a shit about how it's laying, but for some reason it feels very important to do right now. And I go into this a little bit more in my zipper bag video, and also actually the Harry Potter Hogwarts robes tutorial as far as clipping corners and stuff. So I'm gonna do the convex corners as well. All right, it's time to flip this baby out and see what we get. I know I need to either iron this out or top stitch it, or probably both. I don't know if I have that in me. I'm gonna have to top stitch the gap closed anyway. Might as well just give it a round. Okay, I did decide to top stitch. It looks so much better. I can tell I'm losing steam, and maybe this is why I've been doing better tutorials this year, because I haven't been drinking that much, because I forgot how fucking unfocused I get when I'm drinking when I do one of these. I'm saying this now to hold myself accountable, so please badger me, no pun intended, about this if I don't follow through before Halloween happens, because the Chewbacca coat I made years ago that he had on this morning, I like that coat design a lot better than this one, because there's only one set of straps and it's more insulative. So if I do something that's actually meant to keep him warm, I want something like that. So I will do a Hogwarts robes version of that. So the only thing left is attaching the Velcro. So you just need to pick one of each, one facing out, one facing in. I always put the scratchy side facing out, so that's gonna go on this side, and I'll stitch that on. And then you put the soft side on the inside so that they meet and it overlaps a little bit. Does that make sense? You've probably all used Velcro before. Ooh, see, yep, I was rushing. I can feel the tab in here, but I definitely sewed one of the side straps inside. Like, I didn't pull it out to start with. It'll be an easy enough fix, but oh my god, what an idiot. This is what I'm talking about. This is shit that would not happen if it wasn't full of whiskey. Okay, so the picture I have of Bert, I realize it doesn't actually show you the shape of the coat at all, but it's this style thing, and it Velcros just along the tummy. So that's the kind of thing I would like to make. Okay, back to current things. This has all the Velcro bits attached, and it's time for the final reveal. Let's do a little Bert fashion show once he's done licking his own asshole, because that's how he spends a lot of his time these days. I'm gonna move the scissors, whiskey, and chocolate off the table. Oh, ow. What do you think, little Bert? I promise I'll explain what this pile of stuff is behind him afterwards, but in the meantime, I need to see how this precious little angel is gonna look in this hooded cape. Oh man. Oh my god, Bert, you perfect angel of a doll. Look at him. Look at him. He hates it. I know this isn't as stretchy as the other fabric. Well, this is definitely the prototype. We won't use this for what we use for the Etsy shop, but man, this is fucking adorable. I can't handle this dog. I love him so much. He hates it. He absolutely hates it. Okay, I don't think he's super digging this, so I'll definitely make him a slightly bigger one, but it was a good test. This was a Friday night well spent. I need to go give him some proper hangouts, because this poor guy has been dealing with me cranking stuff out in the shop when I've been home this week, because I know I worked Granite Con last weekend, but I'm also going to be working an event, meaning I'm setting up a table in front of Doire, spelled D-O-I-R-E, distillery, which is next to Cask and Vine in downtown Derry, New Hampshire. So if you're seeing this the day it comes out, September 21st, I'll be there from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please come say hi. I don't know if I'm gonna have Bert with me or not. We'll see if you're able to meet him, but if you have dogs and you want to bring them to me, I would fucking love that. So I'll be there for the whole day. If you aren't able to make it out, which I totally understand, I know a lot of you aren't local, I do have an Etsy shop where these reusable cotton rounds will be going up, and everything else I've been talking about lately. If you missed my lookbook the other day, all of that is live in my Etsy shop, and I'm definitely open for custom orders on Hogwarts robes and the capelets and the onesies if you're in a colder climate and want a warm costume. Those are great. I made a custom Grinch one a few months ago, and that person is dressing up as the Grinch for Halloween, which I love any holiday crossover situations like that, so that's great. Thank you so much to everyone over on Patreon. It's only because of them that I'm able to do weird shit like this. I'm so excited. We're getting there. This is kind of like the prototype. I'll definitely workshop this a little bit more before I list things like this in my Etsy shop, and this was all scrap fabric anyway, so it's no huge loss. I'll probably reuse the Velcro on his newer newer one, but we're gonna figure this out and get something down pat that's definitely more comfortable for him, but I'm very amused by how this came out. And yeah, it is a pretty quick project. I don't know if this is actually informative because I was a little more scatterbrained than usual, but sometimes it needs to skew more fun and silly than actually educational, right? That's part of the joy of doing this channel, is I just want to have fun with a thing sometimes. I've definitely been doing more involved projects lately, which I'm all for because I'm getting better at sewing by doing those, but shit like this is wildly entertaining for me, so I hope you also enjoy the ride, and I will see you all back here with another video on Wednesday afternoon. Thank you so much for hanging out! You're such a good model.